And now to the Virginia governor's race, which is heating up, with candidates tied in the polls just 1 week away from election night. That's next week. Former President Barack Obama jumping into the race over the weekend, first supporting Democratic candidate Terry McAuliffe, slamming his Republican opponent Glenn Youngkin for having a hidden agenda and also promoting conspiracy theories in the 2020 election.
You can't run ads telling me you're a regular old hoops-playing, dishwashing, fleece-wearing guy, but quietly cultivate support from those who seek to tear down our democracy. Either he actually believes in the same conspiracy theories that resulted in a mob, or he doesn't believe it, but he's willing to go along with it, to say or do anything to get elected.
And despite these candidates being neck and neck in the polls, President Biden's favorability is also tanking among Virginians, with 50% saying they have an unfavorable view of his presidency. So, will the president's standing in the state impact McAuliffe's chances of winning? Joining us now to discuss just that is political strategist Carrie Ann Burke, also joined by political commentator Quentin Giles, both no stranger to BNC Live. Oh, it seems like we just have Quentin. All right. Well, Quentin, welcome back. Always a pleasure having you, sir. Is this a good sign?
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, is this a good sign that candidates are tied in the polls right now? I mean, especially since Virginia was a state Biden carried by 10 points in the 2020 election. Should they be nervous? Excuse me.
Yeah, so yes and no, right? Ever since the 2016 election, I have kind of taken polls with a grain of salt because we saw how terribly wrong they were in 2016. And we see how sometimes they continue to be wrong as well. And we have to put these polls into context. It's not everybody in the state, though that happens to be people that were chosen for said poll. And now we have those poll numbers. So yeah, sure, be worried people in Virginia who are actively doing the work on the ground because you want your particular candidate to be winning. But at the same time, I think we just always have to put into context that polls are flawed and polls are only surveying a certain amount of people.
All right, Quentin. Well, it seems President Biden is ultimately fighting for his agenda right now to be passed because it seems that Virginians are not viewing him in a good light. Could this impact this race, considering he made campaign promises that it seems he may not be able to keep?
Yeah, it absolutely could impact the race. I think it was strategically smart to send President Obama. By the way, our boy always looks good every time he comes out to give a good old speech, because Obama carried that state or won that state for the Democrats after decades of that being a Republican stronghold. So it was smart to bring President Obama out versus Joe Biden because we are hearing rumblings on the ground that people are not pleased with Joe Biden's performance. Keep in mind, even though it wasn't Joe Biden's fault, you still have Americans dying from COVID. You still have arguments and battles over when we had the stimulus check issue, when we had monies going to families. Will you be able to pass bipartisanship? Infrastructure, voting rights, all of those things that he talked a big game on, and rightfully so because he's the president, but still has yet to deliver a lot of those things. So yeah, it could hurt the candidate, but the Democratic candidate on the ground right now is really trying to tie the Republican candidate to Donald Trump, as we saw our former forever guy, Barack Obama, do the same thing.
Yeah, Quentin, how could this race impact impact midterms next year?
First off, morale, right? It could impact the morale. It could impact people's idea of what they thought was going to happen. I think the Democrat is favored to win in Virginia, but if it doesn't happen, it could be another body blow like it was for so many when Trump won and so many Trump allies won in their various races. But it would also send a message that even though the people of Virginia or just at large, the country voted for Joe Biden, right, and the Democrats to swing the pendulum of power, that could have really just been to get Trump out of office. Not that they were disillusioned from the Republican Party and its base and its core tenets. So if anything, it could be a culture shock and it could be a body blow to those that are working so hard on the ground.
I got more questions right now for you, but I was told that you're staying with us and we're going to continue the conversation on the other side. Jury selection continued today in the case of Ahmaud Arbery's killing in southeastern Georgia. The men responsible, that is, standing trial for his murder. When we come back, a member of the original O.J. Simpson defense team gives his thoughts on the case in a live interview. We're back with that after the break. You're watching BNC Live.
Closed captioning brought to you by Nutrisystem. Lose weight and get healthy with meals delivered to your door.
Introducing the all-new Nutrisystem.
Now with a breakthrough drink mix that will burn body fat and help you stay hydrated. Order your Nutrisystem plan and get the fat burner free.
Ray loves vacations, but his diabetes never seemed to take one. Everything felt like a no. Everything. But then Ray went from no to no. With Freestyle Libre 2, now he knows his glucose levels when he needs to and when he wants to. So Ray can be Ray. Take the mystery out of your glucose levels and lower your A1C. Now you know. Try it for free. Visit freestylelibre.us.
Here's important information for anyone with an annuity or structured settlement. It's your right to sell all or part of your annuity payments for the cash you need now. Whether you need to make an important purchase, pay off debt, or build a business, call the pros at Peachtree today. We can help you get the cash you need. We're professionals at buying structured settlements.
Hi, I'm Maggie from Peachtree. We've been helping people for over 20 years. We can help you turn your settlement or annuity payments into the cash you need for a new car, housing, or to manage debt. Recently, I helped a customer get money for fertility treatments to start a family. It's your money, and you have the right to use it now.
Get your money faster by calling Peachtree now at 1-800-PEACHTREE. That's 1-800-PEACHTREE. Call today for a no-obligation quote and receive $25. Call now at 1-800-PEACHTREE or visit PeachtreeFinancial.com. Representatives are available now.
Got him. Your deodorant doesn't stop sweat at all. We've been there too, and we tried everything. Well, almost everything. That's why we created Carpet, scientifically engineered to see sweat from head to toe. But don't take our word for it.
This makes my life so much less slippery.
It stops the sweat every single moment of every single day.
Get dry today with limited time free shipping at mycarpet.com.
Welcome back to BNC Live. We're continuing our conversation about Virginia's gubernatorial race, and here with us to discuss just that, political commentator Quentin Giles, all the way from Texas. Always a pleasure, Quentin. So, vaccine mandates, you've heard it, you've seen the fighting, the craziness of it. It's become a big issue for this gubernatorial race as well. McAuliffe is having a vaccine mandate for teachers and healthcare staff, but research shows governors and states with mandates have lower approval ratings. Should he provide an alternative option to mandates or just stick to his guns?
Leadership is about making the hard decisions, and I say stick to your guns. Obviously, everyone has a personal choice in whether they want to get the coronavirus vaccine or not. I myself waited up until 2 months or a month ago, to be fully vaccinated, and that was just because I myself wanted to be fully comfortable about putting something in my body, right? But there is a position that a leader must take, and if he is the leader, believes that that is the most safest way to protect his constituents, to protect the people of that state, then you make the hard choices and that you stand by your guns. And if the people revolt by way of an election and vote you out, then that's okay, because you know that you did your job and you tried to keep people safe. So I don't think that he should back down from it, because the science shows us that coronavirus vaccines are an efficacious way for people to not die of the virus. So stick to it.
Yeah. Quentin, what should we be looking out for in this race? Because again, they are neck and neck at this point.
I would be really interested in the exit polling, honestly, because since an exit polling meaning people coming out of the polls taking a survey about who they voted for or what they thought, right? Not just the arbitrary polling of the constituents and we're pulling data together. I would be looking forward to that, because then you can kind of predict where the night is going to go, which is what we do every election cycle. It will also give you an idea of what people were thinking as they entered into that election booth. So that's what I'd be holding out for.
Considering the race is so tight, Quentin, how do the candidates differ outside of vaccine mandates, which is what former governor wants to enact? How do they differ on their topics and stances?
Well, one, one is definitely toting a line of fueling conspiracy theories. That would be the Republican candidate. Fueling conspiracy theories, as Barack Obama said, saying almost anything to just get elected, or maybe you actually believe this. It's very Trump-esque or Trump-like. So the Republican candidate kind of totes that Trump mantra, where the Democratic candidate is actually trying to implement legislation that would help the people, whether it be COVID vaccines or whether it be trying to assist in social safety net infrastructures for his state. Now, are his policies flawless? Absolutely not. But the two differ in one is actually trying to work for the people, and the other seems to be just scoring these political demagoguery points just to get elected.
All right. Well, we got a week from tomorrow, so we shall find out. Quentin Giles, live from Texas. Thank you for joining us.